What is going on, my Houston family? We have some news. We're not really some news, but some subtle hints about the future of Davis Mills. If you go onto HoustonTexans.com and you look at 2023 season tickets, the banner, the poster, the advertisement, it has, the young core plus Tunsil and Jerry Hughes, but there is one player missing, and that is Davis Mills. Now, on this banner, it is Laramie Tunsil, Kenyon Green, Nico Collins, Derek Stingley, Damian Pierce, Jalen Petrie, Christian Harris, and Jerry Hughes, all guys who are going to be here next year, all guys who will be starting. That might mean a new quarterback is coming for the Houston Texans. And, nothing has been announced yet, but I just think it's interesting that the team put this banner out there, right? It's kind of like a foreshadowing moment. But also, guys, some big news for me. Some of you guys have been asking if I'm going to do a podcast where that question has been answered. Yes, I will be a part of the HOU versus you podcast with the lead Harley. Some of y'all know him. He's been on my channel many times before. We'll be talking all sports, Astros, Rockets, Texans. We're also big comic book fans and anime fans, so we'll be dropping some knowledge on that as well. But nonetheless, one episode will be dropping soon. If you want to, check that out, follow me at Twitter at 713HSP. Now let's go back into this Friday mock draft, guys, because we haven't did one in a minute. Once again, we're only doing one because right now none of these positions are set. Currently, the Houston Texans are slated to have the number one overall pick right now, pending what happens this Sunday. Now, if the Houston Texans win against the Indianapolis Colts, they fall to number two. If the Chicago Bears also win and the Houston Texans also win and they end up in a tie, the Houston Texans will end up with the number one overall pick. So the tank is on. The Bears have already sat Justin Fields. The Colts are throwing out there Sam Ehlinger. Houston Texans start Jeff Driscoll, man. Let's go ahead and start with a potential number one overall pick. And this is the main consensus. And I'm going to just harp on this and say that Bryce Young is my QB1. You guys saw him in that game against Kansas State the bowl weekend, was absolutely lining it up. His frame just continues to be brought up time and time again. We saw that interview with Sean Payton where he said, stay away from really small players, but you cannot pass up on this type of talent. Heisman winner, national champion winner. All he does is win. And Bryce Young, there's already John Minchie here. He's going to come to Houston and he's going to ignite the fan base, ignite the city. Everyone is immediately bought in. If you care about season tickets, I really don't, right? Those will automatically jump up with Bryce Young coming into Houston. But what you're getting is a very successful college QB, one of the only guys to throw back-to-back 3,000-yard season at Alabama, had less talent this year and still put up, first-round pick numbers. He should have been number one overall last year, and he should be the consensus number one overall this year, even though CJ Stroud had a very good game against Georgia. But nonetheless, I am still taking Bryce Young number one overall. Now at 12, right, we talked about receivers in the past couple ones. However, I'm I'm thinking more about the D line, right? If I'm gonna go quarterback number one, I don't want to just pay no attention, to this horrible front seven that we have. We can't get to the quarterback, we can't stop the run. And one edge guy that I really like is Jerry Rivers from Florida State. Now here it says he should be around like the late first round, but with the combine, we do expect them to bounce right back up into like the middle of the first round. Explosion off the ball, strong hands. He transferred from Albany to Florida State. His first game against LSU, he absolutely came out on the scene with 2 sacks. Played majority of the season a little bit banged up, but he is very solid against the pass rush. I think he was graded high by PFF in the high 80s. That is higher than it was higher than Will Anderson's, I think. And then in the run, it was around the 76. Nonetheless, I think the Houston Texans need to invest in the defensive line and the offensive line as well. But Jared Verse, I think, is solid. Edge is definitely needed, right? There's not really a solid edge for this team. Our best edge is Jerry Hughes. It should have been Jonathan Grenard, but he's had an injury season. We don't know what he's going to bring next year for the Houston Texans. But I would love if the Houston Texans took a crack on Jared Verse from Florida State. And if you told me, hey, Ruben, Mr. 713, in the first round, the first 2 picks are Bryce Young and Joe Reverse. I'm absolutely excited. You get a huge boost to your franchise with the QB1, and then you get a much needed help along the defensive line. Jared Reverse, 6'4", 250. He might be a little bit bigger than that. Dude is absolutely huge. I would be excited to have him on the Houston Texans D line. Give him number 90. Go ahead and do it. Nonetheless, this is the Friday mock draft. Like I said, this is a fun one. Nothing is set in stone yet. As soon as Sunday ends, I might do an official one or just wait till the playoffs end. Nonetheless, guys, you let me know what you think. As always, go Texans. You guys have a very blessed day.